For the very, very small number who read English, they can have access to English language websites. Like the New York Times piece on the Prime Minister's wealth was picked up and they'll get retranslated into Chinese. That obviously would be something that the Chinese government wants to block. But the Chinese are very, very cynical, and they're very good consumers. They don't believe a lot of the official government information that's coming out, and Weibo, as I mentioned, has become an alternative source of news and information. I saw this, for example, during the tsunami and the Fukushima nuclear crisis in Japan. That was the earthquake that then started this nuclear crisis at the Fukushima nuclear plant. There was a lot of concern in China about nuclear waste or the wind blowing a nuclear cloud across the East China Sea into China, and also some concern that the Chinese nuclear plants may not be safe. China has a lot of fault lines. We just saw an earthquake in Sichuan very recently, and there are a lot of nuclear plants in China. So what happened in Japan was you had this earthquake caused these fissures in this nuclear power plant at Fukushima. So a lot of people went on the internet and started demanding to know whether the Chinese plants were safe. And by the way, there was a lot of admiration for how the Japanese were able to evacuate that area around that nuclear plant. So a lot of people were saying, can China do the same thing? Where are the evacuation plans for our nuclear plant? The government started through their propaganda organs, which is mainly Xinhua. The main news agency will put out editorials and statements and order all the newspapers to carry these. And they started putting out these statements saying, Chinese nuclear plants are nothing like the Japanese nuclear plants, they're all safe. Nobody believed them. And they started putting out statements saying, we've tested the air for radiation, nothing is coming over from Japan, the food coming in from Japan is still safe, etc. Nobody believed them, because these people were still taking the Weibo and putting out alternative information saying, we can't trust it, we don't know that's real, where are the evacuation plans for our plants? And it forced the state council in China to actually suspend all new licenses for nuclear plants for a while and make a visible show of going around and inspecting nuclear plants to show they were safe. So I guess the moral is that even though the government tries to control information, people always have alternative sources, and they talk to each other and they start putting out news and information from foreign sources and elsewhere. So it's a trick. But the funny thing is, I don't think many people except real hardcore government supporters believe everything that's in the official media now.